You are listening to High Score 510, where real talk is the vernacular.
See, I don't think he minds because his favorite basketball player is Magic Johnson.
Yeah.
So he's used to being able to convert whatever people are saying into coherent conversation.
I love Magic Johnson talk.
Create your own subtitles in your head.
Yeah. Man, I had to do interpretive listening since I was a kid. It's like, I was ready. I was born ready for this. Like, I don't know why nobody else can do this.
Oh, that dude with the fuck is this dude with this big ass neck? I've seen it.
He got the tequila Spike's neck.
Yeah, no, he got that LeVar Arrington neck.
Dude, that was bigger than LeVar Arrington. At least LeVar Arrington, the rest of his body seemed like it matched.
Yeah,
that dude just had a neck. He was all neck.
He looked hella big from the neck up, and then you look at his body. He's not a small dude, but he's not.
No, he's not. I'm just figuring out how the hell he didn't play.
Him and that one white dude with the long ass neck got a song together.
Yeah, I just saw that. It's on World Star. Dude, it's terrible. It's called Next Up or something like that.
Goddamn. Wow.
They're making fun of their own necks, and then the dude with the skinny neck, it sounds like he can barely talk normally, and the dude with the big neck, just it's terrible. Somebody's using this viral age to profit off some pure ignorance and misfortune, I guess. Or
I can understand why he don't sound right. I mean, like the vocal cords all the way down here, the voice coming out up here. That shit just don't make no sense.
Traveling a longer distance, getting diluted by soft tissue.
Right. They gotta finally come out the mouth.
Anyways, Aaron, you ready, man?
I'm ready.
You talking about me taking hella long to get the show started? We waiting for you because we're over here looking at TMZ.
I already finished my soup, bro.
I'm just glad, Aaron. I'm just glad you're not looking at many vids though. So I'll give you that.
You know what? There's a proper time and place for that.
Which happens to be.
And this podcast is that. I'm not saying that the podcast is not a proper time and place, but.
The podcast is prime time and place for it.
I might have a couple of questions though. Like, hey Aaron, how mad at you that Tumblr cut out Pornhub?
Tumblr cut out Pornhub?
Yeah.
Nah, he just go to Reddit.
I should go straight to the source.
Aaron ain't bashful.
Like, I didn't know they was going through. I didn't know you could go through Tumblr. I just go straight to the source.
Like the magazine source.
Do people do that at work or something? They're like, hey man, I to get porn in and going, I don't want it to come up that I'm on Pornhub, so I go through Tumblr or I go through something else.
Go through Tumblr, go through Instagram.
You see how agitated he is now? I know. Let's make lemonade.
I need a letter. K?
Yeah.
Everyone just be throwing out their first letter of their name, huh? All right. King Coon Killers.
I wish your name would have started with the T or something else. Probably started at the end. It would have been better.
King Kong.
He over here acting like Louis C.K.
Coochie killing. Cryptochron. Oh, that's a C, huh?
It don't matter.
Kicking it.
Coochie was a C.
Coochie's a C too. You had nothing but C's in it.
Nah.
The only word you said, coon, is really C too. You had said one K word.
No, I use coon with a K is more PC and socially acceptable. Ask Twitter.
I don't know.
King Koopa Killer, I think it was like the 3 Ks.
King Koopa Killer. King Coon Killer, though.
Last I know.
Name of my fantasy football team, the KKKs.
Last I know, too. I noticed that. I just noticed that today when I was looking at, like, the playoff results, and I was like, this fool named his team KKK. Wow. I didn't notice the whole time. I should have changed his name as the commissioner.
See. All right, that was my little vocal warm-up. My little rhyme warm-up. All right, here we go. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. You are listening to High Score 510. You can catch us on our YouTube page at High Score 510, the Instagram High Score 510, and on Twitter, where you can interact directly with us. We also have a highscore510.com, which is still in the works. I feel like
we also have a verified Pornhub page.
I feel like Enron is building our website.
Enron's building it, and we are sponsored by Arthur Anderson.
I don't even know who Arthur Anderson is.
They were the company behind Enron that did all the embezzlement and all that.
You're going to have to tell me that all the time, because I like potato chips.
I like potato chips. But I'm not allowed to eat it on the podcast. I like potato chips, but I can't eat them on the podcast.
That sounds like a personal problem.
I gotta eat my potato chips 2 hours. I got a time limit. I gotta eat my potato chips at 3 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
To Darnell, no one is permitted to move during the singing of the song.
Mm-hmm. Nor should you be eating chips. Today we are sponsored. Oh, we gotta introduce. Let's introduce. And we are here with.
This is Aaron Grayson, aka AG Smooth, aka Ice, aka 40 Water. Coming at you. I'm coming at you like a New Jersey athletic official cutting little black boy's hair before the wrestling match.
I feel good about what we've been doing with the Lakers. I knew that in my heart that we had tampered with it, but at the same time, we were warned. We did cross a line that we shouldn't have crossed. And so Adam Silver did his job, and so I take full responsibility because I'm the president of basketball. And so this happened on my watch.
Oh, it cut off?
Hold on, let's see. I think there's another part.
Savages did things just to do them. Come on, I mean, what am I going to do?
That's the wrong one. I don't remember where the other part is.
There is a second part.
Like it's, something to do. Come on, I got no more sense than that. Yeah, I remember grinding my feet in Eddie's couch.
This might be
Last one.
It doesn't affect Jeannie Buss. She's been an excellent boss. I love her to death. I love working for her. But at the same time, you have to take ownership and accountability. And so I will do that. And would I admit we did something wrong? No, I would never admit that because we haven't. But at the same time, we have.
We just spent 3. And then at the same time, we have. I won't admit that we did something wrong because we haven't. At the same time, we had.
This magic moment.
That's my magic. Had a magic moment.
Magic has some magic
I told
moments.
you, his age was fucking with him that day.
You might hear Aaron have a magic moment. But anyways,
because my diabetes be fucking with me.
My diabetes.
So I'm gonna eat this banana pudding and not take and think I can take more medicine.
Come on. And we are also here with.
It's your boy Kiegan, aka Takashi, aka Don't Get That In Here, aka Swatzilla, aka Going Bareback.
Oh wow!
I gotta find you a sound. Hold on, I got one for you. It's coming
That's
out.
how I do it. I don't go bareback. I keep it real biblical over here.
I got you a good one.
Jesus did it. You gotta play it to people who.
Dr. King ain't come walk around like that. You know, sweet, I met Dr. Martin Luther King once. And you lying. You ain't never met Dr. Martin Luther King. Yeah, I met Dr. Martin Luther King in 1962 in Memphis, Tennessee. I walking down the street, minding my own business, just walking on, feeling good. I walk around the corner, man woke up, hit me in my chest, right? I fall on the ground, right? And I look up, it's Dr. Martin Luther King. I said, Dr. King. He said, oops, I thought you were somebody else. Oh, man, you lying. You ain't never met Martin Luther the King.
Martin Luther the King? You ain't never met no Martin Luther the King?
The King.
And my name is Jared, aka DJ Art. The D is silent, so it's Jart. With 1 T or 2 T's. Depends on how much tink you need. Anyways, let me play my sound bite.
I have had it with these monkey fighting snakes on this Monday to Friday play.
There it is. We in here. Let me play another one just for good measure.
And I ain't playing, nigga.
Come on, man.
Hey, that pinky give me every time, man.
Dude, I like that. Hold on, I can put.
And I ain't playing, nigga.
I gotta keep this one ready to go. Keep that one ready to go. Keep that one on deck all
Keep it
day.
on deck.
And I ain't playing, no.
You know, me and Pinky had a lot in common. We both used to fuck up people's couches in the 80s with our Jerry curl. So I used to carry a shower. I used to carry like one of those shower hats with me. And before I go to somebody's house, because I had a lot of respect.
You had to keep them curls on lock.
So 80s, I was sneaking over there and I was trying to have sex with their daughters, but at least I didn't fuck up their couch.
You was keeping your hair on lock, unlike them white parents who let their kids run around the motherfucking grocery store and just touch everything.
You know that shit didn't happen in my family. And I know black neighborhood, you touch everything. Though next thing you know, I gotta pay for the shit. Yeah. That shit tripped me out when I moved up here. It was the first time because I grew up in an all black neighborhood, even though my school was very diverse. That I bust out to. When I moved up here and I was at Safeway, because in my neighborhood there was no white people in Safeway. There's no white people living in my neighborhood near me. So to go to a grocery store that had white people in it, and that was tripped me out the first time I was out here and I saw people give their kids food opened before they paid for it.
Oh yeah, that scared me.
That shit scared me.
Yeah, you can't do that.
That scared me. But I'll tell you, I got a similar story. So moved out to El Sobrante, and so my parents went to Berkeley, and I went to school like in Oakland, Berkeley area. So when I was like in middle school, elementary and middle school, we'd always drive through Orinda, and it was like Orinda was like a nice little pristine place relative to what I was used to growing up, like, you know, in the Richmond Annex, El Cerrito area, which is still a nice area, but way more colorful. And I saw people eating food all the time while they were grocery shopping in Orinda, and I was like, so we should allow to eat the food as we are shopping? I was like, I thought you had to wait till you procured it with your funds before you could open up and start eating it, because you technically don't own it right now. Yeah. But, you know, it's all about that honor system out there, or that code. I definitely saw some people eat stuff and then put it down and walk away from it, which made me realize
not all of them.
Not all of these motherfuckers is as wholesome as Pleasantville made me think they was.
No honor among thieves.
None.
Shit. Anyways, we love you, white people. Come on our show. Shout out. Sponsorship.
Well, we do have a white turn.
We need white people. Sponsorship.
We have a white turn.
What's a white turn?
That's Sam. Sam's our white turn.
Sam is the laziest white turn ever. He's not. I'm not.
That's what makes it. He is the laziest white turn ever. He thinks just because he said, man. Remember, he wanted to start. So Sam is this guy to work with this. He's full British supposedly. He was born in England. Right. But he's been out here since he was 5, since kindergarten. Okay. So basically, he's no longer British. I don't think none of the sides claim him out here. Or and this fool talks a lot. So he says one day I gave him a ride home. We get pulled over by the cops. Now the cop was super friendly. Cop pulled me over to let me know that I had that my registration was expiring the next day. Okay. I still had another day.
All right.
But he said it was a friendly, and then he also told me it was a friendly reminder that one of my headlights was out. Now, I didn't even know it was out. And mind you, it wasn't even that dark. I don't know how the fuck he noticed that. And the crazy thing about it was he gave me a fix-it ticket, right? Right. And he actually was kind of pleasant. And Sam says he was only pleasant. He said, Aaron, that would have kind of went backwards if I wasn't in the car with you. He said, I'm telling you, I'm starting this business called Uber, White Uber, where you rent a white guy to ride in the car with you.
Hell yeah. I do that.
Problem is Sam's too goddamn lazy.
Hey, you know what? That actually reminds me of a story that I had with some of my coworkers. Most of my coworkers are all white, and they were talking about all the times that they just got pulled over and like nothing happened to them. It was like, oh, I had weed in the car. They called my mom. They gave the weed to my mom, and I was like,
goddamn,
I was like, ain't that right? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, what the fuck, man? Every time I got pulled over, always had a white person with me, so I'm cool.
That's all.
Gotta have your white person with you.
You got just like they were talking about. You had that white dude as part of your crew. You know what I'm saying? So they could talk to police when the police come. You need that buffer. You need that person that can.
I don't understand how that shit didn't work for me one time. I was driving and I had this white woman in the car with me, and I was in Mississippi, Jackson, Mississippi.
Oh, that's your first problem.
And then by the time I got to Meridian, Mississippi, I got pulled over, harassed, and beat a little bit. So I don't know. Maybe it's just not me.
It might just be in Mississippi.
Maybe it was also 1957.
That was back when I was time traveling.
The era of time travel. Hey, like that show Timeless. Timeless has a 2-hour finale they're coming out with because the show wasn't good enough to keep going.
A series finale after the first season.
It's 2 seasons. They did 2 seasons.
Oh,
they got 2 seasons in. And after the second season, you know, they did have Harriet Tubman, but she wasn't showing no signs of narcolepsy in it. So
that's not the real Harriet Tubman.
Hey, so who are we sponsored by today?
Today, we're sponsored by Chobani Yogurt.
No, we ain't sponsored. Fuck Chobani. We sponsored by Vida Pechuga Mezcal. Is it Pechuga?
Nah, you don't know how to say it. That mezcal made out of yucca plants. Ain't even cactus.
Come on, man.
Trader Joe's.
It still smells like.
Hey, pronounce that word.
Huh? Proteigida. Proteigida. You know. They say
it's Spanish.
When I was in Venezuela, they thought that they were like, man, the way you speak Spanish, we could tell you a native from Suriname.
Proteigida.
Proteigida. No, it's no J in it. It's no Proteigida.
The G is kind of silent. It's like it has a little bit of, but not much. Proteigida.
Nah, man, you don't know how to speak no.
You ain't never no more.
You know how many Mexican women I dated when I was in LA?
And I'm surprised you still can't pronunciate nothing.
I pronunciate. I could know where the Mexican women be at.
I'm gonna say not enough. You didn't date enough.
No, you didn't date enough.
I ain't date enough. I did.
There's based upon that statement, Aaron, I'd say 0.
This is before it's okay for them to call you Poppy.
You're not rolling no G's. You gotta probably
Yeah, you got.
It
Yeah.
wasn't about me rolling my G's. It's about me making them roll their G's. The 8
You
G's.
ask Aaron about an Enye, he'd be like, "Oh man, I like them chips. Those good. Beignets. Let me get some of them beignets. We go to the liquor store looking for some beignets."
What the hell's an Enye? He's making some shit up. God damn. Where come all that?
Anyways, we also sponsored by Cushy Punch and the New Parkway Theater.
I like how you just threw that in there.
Yeah, and the New Parkway.
You know what? I had to work today because people wasn't there. So yeah, we sponsored by New Parkway. I had a rough night last night. I had a great night last night. A rough ass morning. I took about 7 deuces. Those drunk deuces this morning. That was not good. I was in between being hungover and still drunk. That was all fucked up. You know how bad it was? Man, I had to tell somebody. Rayon had to cover me. So, because I was like, dude, I'm about to start this movie 5 minutes late because I got to run to the bathroom. I was in there, man. I struggled. But I want to thank you, too, for keeping me from killing myself.
You're welcome. That's what we're here for.
Yeah.
Which I don't think you really did anything to stop me from killing myself. Mm-hmm. Last I know, I was in the middle of the street several times.
Hey, I seen you. I was like,
ooh, this nigga up on that name.
I'm like, who is this nigga riding this bird scooter around?
Oh, the scooter. Oh, the mysterious scooter that was still being charged. We threw it in the backseat of my car.
I gotta thank you for that.
And drove it for like a good 2 miles.
Yeah, we drove for 2 miles. It was someone else's. I don't even have a Lime app. It was someone else's. I was shocked that it still was. I wanted to take. I was drunk enough to take it on the freeway. To be honest, it might be best that you guys kept yelling at me to get in the car.
You're welcome. That's all I can say. That's what we're here for. I'm a little bit mad. I didn't get to ride it, but
I'm sorry.
Cool.
Well, we should have rode it when you tried to take it out the car. Is that why you tried to take it?
That's why I was trying to take it out the car.
You did. I messed that up.
And then they was like, nah, don't take it out the car.
You're right. They said it. You're right. They said it. I was on your side.
Yeah, he was like, hey, let me take out the car.
That's what we're here for. I was actually thinking about riding it inside the bar.
Right, that would have been
Nigga, please.
Nah, ain't no please. I was gonna do it.
I believe him when he says that.
Yeah, so Aaron got a little tipsy last night, but it was a good. Seemed like it was a good time.
It was a good time.
Aaron was trying to table serve. Aaron was trying to do
I got pictures there, by the way.
I got pictures there.
Pictures of table serve. I was dancing. I don't know what table serve.
Nah, that's not dancing. You had your legs wide open, bro.
I was dancing the pony. You know what? You know they were gonna hire me to be in Magic Mike 3. But the person who they wanted to lead, they realized he couldn't act, Michael B. Jordan, so they canceled the movie.
Come on.
They hired him first, and then I was gonna be the second Magic Mike person. And then when we started doing our screen test, they said, "Oh, this motherfucker over here, I'm gonna set the N-word because that's how much I hate his acting ability." That they said this man can't act his way out of a paper bag. We got to cancel this movie.
Yeah, but
Ray J wasn't available, so they was to cancel the movie.
Aaron, you kind of lightweight went like full Shannon Sharp last night.
I be on the miles. I be on the miles with that yak hard yesterday, Skip.
Yeah, Skip. I was hitting it hard yesterday. Skip. I was.
You on that yak?
I had to let loose. You know, we on spring break now. It's Christmas Eve.
Wait, what are we on?
This magic moment.
Man, what if it's springtime somewhere?
Hey, okay, Kiegan. So, since you are here with us, we'd like to, just give you the welcome. Darius and Brandon always like to welcome any guest host with a little brief message. So I'm gonna play them their message.
Appreciate it.
So we're getting to, as an NFL, Aaron, we're getting to the NFL?
We're starting off with the NFL.
Okay, what's the first subject for the NFL?
The Not For Long League. First subject today. Cowboys are in the playoffs.
What?
Cowboys are in. I'm going to go ahead and start off with this. So that way, Jared can be excited. Cowboys clinched with the win today. They went ahead.
Yeah. So, the Cowboys are in the playoffs. The Cowboys are back. They are back. They might not go very far in the playoffs, but they're back, which is important to me because it gives me one extra Sunday to sit there and be depressed. But I'll accept it gladly because it gives me a chance of having that payoff where they might make some noise in the playoffs. They got lucky today. They played the Bucs, the hapless Bucs. Well. And it looked like the defense was doing pretty well. They let James Winston throw for like 350 yards, but that's what Jameis Winston does. He turned the ball over a couple times for him, so that was good. But yeah, Cowboys are back, y'all. Watch out.
It looked like the way it's going right now. They go, yeah, they look good. I like their defense.
Their defense is good, but the offense is inefficient in the red zone, which is a big issue. And if they don't get better in the red zone, they're going to be out of the playoffs real quick. You can't keep kicking field goals when you get to the red zone. You got to convert touchdowns at more than barely scraping 40. I think they're 39 or 40% on red zone conversions for touchdowns. The rest of the time it's field goals. So we'll see. Aside from that, shout out to Tyrone Crawford. Had a scary injury on his neck today. They said he's good. His neck strain. He was able to leave the hospital under his own power, but they did cart him off the field. So shout out, Hot Boys, Cowboys, ball out until you fall out. Give me one weekend where I don't have to be all depressed and upset.
You depressed even when they win it, so I don't know what you're talking about now.
It's like an abusive relationship.
You ain't watched a football game with him. You don't understand. The Cowboys, he start yelling, he get depressed. They could be winning and he's depressed.
Yeah, they trigger everybody. I'm not gonna lie. They trigger me when they play too. That Dak Prescott, he killing me. He cannot throw for more than 300 yards. I think he's only done it 3 times in his career.
He did it a couple weeks ago for the first time, and it's okay, maybe he's doing something, but now he's not. He's inconsistent.
Yeah,
for sure inconsistent. What do you think of the Cowboys' chance? You think they're gonna do anything in this playoffs, or you think they're going all the way? Think they get first round exit? They're gonna host the game. They're gonna host.
I'm gonna go with. It depends on who they play.
Right now, if Seattle wins this game, it's looking like Seattle.
I'd like to take my chances with Seattle. I don't think Seattle's going to make it easy on them, but I'd take my chances with Seattle.
But out of all the other teams that might make it, it's either Seattle, Minnesota, or Philadelphia, basically.
I don't think Philly's going to make it.
Well, Seattle loses.
Philly needs a lot of help to get in.
They do. Well, Seattle loses this game. They're all even as far as records. So Minnesota got that tie, so that puts them ahead. But who does Philly play next week? Philly got a hard matchup.
Philly's playing... No, they're playing the Redskins. They're playing the Redskins.
I think Philly could get that game.
They can beat Josh Johnson. They're gonna beat, dude. They needed to win these 3 games and get a little help, and that's the one team I don't want to see in the playoffs.
Philly?
Yeah, because that's if the Cowboys have to play them in a wild card game, I don't think they have to the first round, but if they did, that would be my one concern because that's a team that knows your tendencies, they know your players, they compete with you. Division games are always closer, typically, unless you just have a terrible division, a la the Patriots. Shout out to the Patriots for 10 years running, winning the NFC East.
Winning the crappiest division.
Shout out to the NFC East for being dog shit. Not even good dog shit. Like the dog shit that where dogs be eating scraps of people's garbage that they shit out. You know what I'm saying? That's the kind of dog shit that the NFC East is. The NFC East is probably the most pathetic thing. You know what?
NFC East or AFC East?
Oh, my bad.
Magic moment.
That's a magic moment for me. I'll get to myself. Hold on. Let me find it.
I don't think it's worth it.
Well, this magic moment.
You went full retard.
You know what?
It's the AFC least.
I used to call the NFC East that, when you take a fat shit and then you flush a toilet and you still got that streak of shit right there. That was the NFC East for me for the longest. Because the Philly was garbage, Cowboys were garbage, Washington was garbage, and then Eli Manning, who's the epitome of garbage. Yeah, that was the NFC East for me.
Yeah, the NFC. Well, the one thing I'll say about the NFC East is typically, at least in the last 10 years, even if the division is down record-wise, we're this year the Cowboys won the division potentially with a 9-7 record because they could lose next week, be 9-7 and won the division. So it's thought of as a weak division, but typically they play pretty well against other opponents when they get into playoff situations or outside of the division. So.
I will also say they actually have pretty good defense in the NFC East.
NFC East, yeah.
Giants had pretty good defense for the longest. Cowboys have pretty good defense now. Yeah.
Washington's defense is getting better. They're good at stopping the run. For sure, the front seven has been legitimized. They've invested on that.
The Philly defense, if it wasn't hurt, it'd be good.
No, the Philly D is the main thing.
It's very, but it's
their secondary. Their front seven has been good. Their secondary got banged up. That was their issue. But I'll say. NFC East. I hope the Cowboys don't have to play the Eagles because that will be probably bad news. I don't care about nobody else. I want to see the Who Dat Nation. I want to see the Rams. I wish they would try and step in our hood and have Marcus Peters walk up and call somebody a bitch ass.
Man, they ain't got to go to your hood. Dallas would be in LA for that match.
Well, then perfect. Marcus Peters can walk up to a Cowboys fan and do it again. He can get real close because the stairs from the field lead
Yeah,
right
he
up in the
basically
stand.
walked on the stairs.
He did.
I love LA. That's what I love. That. I hate
But
that
no,
stadium,
there
but
was
I
no
love that
security to stand his way. Like, don't come here. No, there was no security. I was like, what is this?
You know
ever
what?
been to a game there? You don't want
We
security.
did go to a game there.
No, I didn't see no security then either.
Bruh.
Remember we couldn't find the seats.
No, remember we could have gone anywhere and sat anywhere we wanted to if we had chosen to. So yeah, what's up?
The way he said it too, I felt like he really from the hood. So like he might actually go up into the stands and like put some hands on some people.
Yeah.
Like what is that? The
Malice in the Palace.
Malice in the Palace.
Oh, I was watching that live.
That shit was tight.
He doesn't sound like Russell Wilson, who just be like, "Hey, don't do that, guys. Come on, be cool."
Yeah,
hey, that's my boy Russ. That's my boy.
Danger Russ. No,
Danger Russ Wilson.
Yeah, Marcus Peters does keep it really real. He worries me though that he's gonna be essentially like your boy. What you call it? Oh, remember Dave Chappelle when keeping it real goes wrong? That's what I feel like is gonna happen to our boy Marcus Peters. He's gonna do something.
He's kept it real a lot, even when he shouldn't have kept it real.
He kept it real to where they traded him away from the Chiefs because they were like, we don't want to deal with this shit no more. The Washington didn't want him no more.
No, he got cut while he got cut while Washington.
He got asked to lead the team while he was at Washington. And you know,
Washington was the best player on the team. They're like, man, we'd rather you leave.
He should have been on an all-SWAC team. He should have gone to the all-SWAC.
He should have went to Missouri.
He could have gone to Missouri, or he could have been on Florida, and they would have taken care of him, and he could have been as ignorant as he wanted. And he would have still been playing.
He might be in jail though.
He might be in jail.
So Oklahoma
State. He was too good for Oklahoma State because they would have put him at wide receiver. They would.
Jared has this thing that the Big 12. He said every guy that plays corner or defensive end that's good enough to be on defense that could probably make it to the league on defense. The Big 12 is so offensive heavy. They'll put him into a tight end or a wide receiver.
No. Any dude that's on defense was not good enough to make off. They look just for
not good
offensive
enough
players.
to go on scholarship.
They're like, well, you play defense too, right? Okay, for sure. You could be a tight end. We'll play DN. Yeah, you can play DN. Like, oh yeah. It's the problem with the Cal. All right, so I had this theory. Cal did the opposite though, because they got a defensive coach from Wisconsin, hard-nosed defense. UC Berkeley, Cal football. Shout out. Thank you for vastly under-entertaining games because your offense was poop. They got all defensive players, had a really solid defense, a good defense, but then they had all their offensive players who were dudes who weren't good enough to make the defense, which is like a complete counter reversal. It was crazy, bro. I tell you, their quarterback, the white dude, the quarterback, I swear, he's probably like the dude who lost out on the third string safety spot. It was like, man, you can't play safety. You know, you can't even do some special teams, so we're going to put you at quarterback. They were like, wide receivers, man, y'all was our weakest corners. Y'all can play wide receiver now.
Yeah, pretty awful, though.
You know who also did that was Seattle. 2 or 3 years ago, they took all defensive linemen and turned them into offensive linemen. Yeah, and that is why
the offensive line sucked. And Russell Wilson was running for his life.
And they took a dude who never played organized football, and George Fant, be like, you play basketball, right? You could be a blocker.
You got good feet.
We ain't trying to make you play tight end like typically we take basketball players do. We want you to play left guard or left tackle. No, it's the left tackle. They put him in at left tackle. You put him at the most.
Put him in the hardest position in football. One of the hardest positions.
That'll tell you how smart Tom Cable is.
Oh man, don't give us. Oh my god, that's gonna lead us to our Raider thing, and we're not gonna get into the Raiders right now.
We gonna get into the Raiders.
We can get into it. Are we putting the Raiders somewhere else, or we getting into the Raiders?
We might as well go straight to the Raiders. We always come back to the
all right. So besides
state of the Raiders,
besides Tom Cable being like the garbageest coach in Raider Nation, them moving, they don't know where they're moving to. That is like the worst part I could think of. Besides like John Gruden not knowing what to say and what to do, talking about he's going to bring back Peter, what's his name?
Nathan Peterman.
He
brought him in. Now, Nathan Peterman, just to let you know, there were several websites created about Nathan Peterman while he was the quarterback for Buffalo Bills. There were several websites created in highlight reels of all his interceptions, of his top. There was one list that said Nathan Peterman top 18 interceptions. And I was like, well, maybe he only had 18. And I was like, no, he had... It was a highlight reel of interceptions. He had triple the amount of interceptions per. Did he have 5 in a game twice?
He had 5 in the first half or something like that. That's when they benched Tyrod Taylor because they're like, we're in playoff contention right now, and we're
looking at our future.
Yeah, we're looking at our future with a 5th round drafted quarterback that ain't shit. Dude, Nathan Peterman got a job. Hey, this tells me that the Raiders are definitely tanking, but also John Gruden has. I think John Gruden had too many Hooters wings and all the hormones in there went and changed some of his brain chemistry because that motherfucker ain't thinking right. Why would you really want to try and bring in a project of Nathan Peterman who has proven that the one thing he does not know how to do at the most important position is take care of the ball.
Protect the ball.
Protect the ball.
At all times.
You touch the ball every play. You should not be responsible for that many turnovers at that ratio. I saw some stat where they said Tom Brady could throw an interception for like the next 2 seasons on every drop back if he averaged like however many passes he does a year, and his interception the ratio of interceptions was that would still be below Nathan Peterman's ratio. Like his interception to pass attempt ratio would still be below Nathan Peterman's if he threw 2 years of just every pass was an interception.
God damn.
That's how bad this fool is. You know?
And then John Gruden said that he loved his John Gruden camp. His QB.
That's the problem. Yeah, he loved him in that John Gruden stupid camp.
The QB camp, and I was like, bro, that was like years ago.
That was years ago, and that was you sitting in a small room in Florida.
And be like,
I'm bringing up your best highlights.
Oh, you playing against a bunch of dudes who should be playing flag football.
Where did Nathan Peterman go to college?
Pitt. I think it was Pitt.
Yep, Pitt. You're right.
He's pretty. Hey, Nathan Peterman, you was at home in the AFC East, and you was worse shit than the shit they already had up there. That's how bad you are. Like, if the AFC East, sans the Patriots, doesn't think you're good enough to be on their team anymore, that lets you know where you stand. Because the AFC East is that diarrhea dog shit.
Dude, he lost. He was at Tennessee first, but he lost his starting job to some dude I ain't never heard of.
Probably some dude who transferred from Georgia Tech.
Some dude who named Justin Worley.
The quarterback transferred from Georgia Tech to run the wishbone offense.
Justin what?
Justin Worley.
He sounded like he played defense.
Dude, yeah. The guy,
isn't that the Cal quarterback? Like that fool.
Dude, this guy was not a 5-star recruit who he lost to, so then he transferred to Pitt. My question is, what wide receivers did he ruin that probably could have made the league if he wasn't their quarterback?
I don't know. Well, the crazy thing is, you think about Pitt quarterbacks now, like they had Dan Marino, but they've fallen. Well, I guess they've fallen off for a long time. Yeah. But it's like sad. Like the last 2 quarterbacks I can think of from Pitt that have been put in the league are your boy Nathan Peterman and Tom Savage. We know what Tom Savage does.
Ooh, goddamn.
Not shit. He checks the ball down or throws picks. I need to know who's the coaches of Pitt. Cause
James Conner was on that team with Nathan Peterman.
Yeah, and that's the only reason why Nathan Peter got shine is because James Conner was over there running over motherfuckers.
With cancer.
Yeah. James Conner, we need you to carry this team literally. Because we know Nathan Peterman can't do that. Like, we just need Nathan Peterman to be able to throw a deep ball and keep it. Anything short and intermediate, we don't want him throwing. Because we know what he do when he do
as
that.
A coach, how do you coach that? Like, hey, we got Nathan Peterman out here, so James Conner, we need you to kind of carry the team. I understand you got cancer and everything, but we still need you to carry.
But you can legally take them steroids now, right?
Like, man, it's just you. Hey, man, you fighting every week. Then. You could beat cancer. You could beat this team.
Yeah,
Nathan Peterman can't do it. We got to run the ball every day till you die. I mean, until you get touchdowns. That's what they say.
Honestly, I think you can give Nathan Peterman every performance-enhancing drug, and he'll still throw a pick.
Since we talking about the state of the Raiders, I gotta ask you a question because we already know they're getting sued by the city of Oakland, so they're probably not gonna play in their stadium next year. We know that.
They getting evicted. Well, the cheating girlfriend. They cheated, or the cheating boyfriend.
The cheating boyfriend
whose name is not on the lease.
Who still want to sleep on the couch.
Yeah, it's like, no, you got to go. I don't even know why. Like, there must have been some real pity. And, like, Oakland was like, why you being pity on this team?
Nah, so
they said they leaving. You say, all right, move. Get the process started.
Yeah.
It's like, you can do that somewhere else then.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, sorry to interrupt.
I'll make them play at Berkeley High.
Yeah, they're talking about so
they can fill that stadium. I think they can fill that stadium.
I only got bleachers on one side.
So I was talking to some people and they're like, why can't they just play at Cal? And I'm like, they can't play at Cal. No. Cal won't. The neighborhood won't allow it. Number one.
No.
And number two, we're
not gonna charge Cal like that.
Yeah, it would be a shit show. But the other thing, I know for a fact that apparently, like, UC Berkeley has.
They have a lot of rules.
They have a lot of rules, and they have agreements with the neighborhood committees or whatever, the city council, about however many events that they can have in that stadium per year. And it's like under like 15 that they're allowed to have. So like they have like their like 6 or 7 football games, and then like graduation days and like a couple other like special like they have like a soccer game come there and play or something like that. Like so they have like under like 15 events that they could do where they're gonna fill and have to shut down that whole rimway and everything because of the agreements. Yeah, all the people got power, so you can't. So I'm like, if the NFL wants to come in and pay those people off, like we'll give you $1 million each to.
In the 90s, they didn't even have. Remember, they didn't have night games. I remember the one game they said that was a night game. It was a game that started at 2:00. I'm like, that's not a night game. And they put up these portable lights, and they're like, the game still ended like at 5. And I'm like, that's not a night game. You know, but that was the only because of the agreement with the people then.
That's old people night time.
Yeah, and then they finally got it to where the people in the neighborhood agreed that okay, you could put in real lights and you could have this many games at night and this and that, and only during this part of the season. So yeah, the Raiders can't do that. They might go to the Candlestick. AT&T.
I don't think AT&T wants them damaging up their field like that.
That field though.
I wouldn't want them. I'd be like, y'all motherfuckers can go. Oh, too bad we tore it down. So Candlestick, baby.
They're gonna fuck up the field. They're gonna fuck up that area.
Honestly, like I read something that said that they might, because they're considering doing several games in like London, or like being like they might even be the team that experiments with just being leasing and playing all their games in London and being like, what is that like for an NFL schedule to actually have a team in London, which would be kind of crazy. So I'm thinking that they put that out there, and the Raiders might try that just to see, so the NFL can get a test to see what it would be like for the teams that have to travel out there, how you would build a schedule, and just like that whole market if it's really viable. That would be smart if the NFL wanted to do that.
I like that. I actually like that more than anything because they're gonna lose all their Oakland fans anyway. So you might as well get some new fans in London.
Aren't you an Oakland fan?
Nah, I'm cool.
Wait,
weren't
you?
So you're not a Raider fan?
So all right, so
that's what I wanted to get to.
There's a long story behind it, but I'm gonna make it short. So I have a whiteboard at work where I have a playoff bracket of what the teams that I'm going to be a fan of next year because I'm a free agent. As soon as I heard that Raiders were leaving, I was like, all right, I gotta look for a new team. So believe it or not, Philly was up there, Saints was up there, Chicago was up there, Seattle was up there, Detroit was up there just as like as a favor to my friend, and
they're going to be a favor to a friend.
Raiders was still up there as a favor to the city. And I think there was one more team up there. I forgot what the team was though.
Should be the Rams. That's who should be up there.
Rams. That's who was up there too. And so after a couple of weeks, Detroit got eliminated because they hot garbage right now. Philly, they still kind of in it. It depends if they make playoffs or not. If they don't, they out. Saints, they moving on to the finals. And Chicago's looking like a smooth favorite to the finals.
Well, it's just Chicago getting lucky because they get schemed into a good position in a down year.
A down year for Green Bay?
Bruh, dude, Chicago's about to be dog shit.
It's a down year for Green Bay and Minnesota, to be honest.
So, dog shit.
That's a trip. You got Chicago on there.
So a lot of this has not been based on the team. A lot of this is based on the actual city. Yeah. How do I feel about their uniforms? How do I feel about their player personnel, their coaching? So Chicago's only up there because as a honeymoon, my wife and I went to Chicago, and it was pretty much one of the best trips that I've had so far.
Okay, well that
makes sense.
I'll give you that because otherwise I was just like dog shit. Hey, I got another idea. What about this though, Kiegan?
Wait! I gotta give a quick shout out to Nick. He my boy from Chicago, and he's the one that taught me on to. He's put me on to Nick Fangio.
Nick Fangio, the D coordinator there. He was the Niners D coordinator when the Niners were.
He was super juiced when they got him.
Stanford, he's a good coach.
Yeah, he was like Kiegan, you don't understand. Kiegan, you don't understand.
You get a coach.
We're gonna do good.
Yeah, they got the pieces, and he knows how to coach a team to play very tight together. Like they're all on a string. It seems like. Whatever he does, that gets them to play that way. Because when the Niners were good, and I hate the Niners, but I was like, this defense is dope, and it's fun to watch. Even though I was rooting against them doing well every play, I was like, dude, they're like, dudes are getting to the ball, like just hitting dude. Like guys might catch the ball, but they're getting hit immediately. You know what I'm saying? And they played physical too. They had a good pass. All levels, and it wasn't like their corners weren't super dope corners. They weren't shut down corners. They were good physical corners. They were adequate. And they played a way that allowed that defense to really just make an offense feel uncomfortable, which is cool to see.
I like the defense.
The Bears are starting to do that this year. But you know what? I'm gonna tell you this: Kiegan, I got a better idea. Instead of just doing however you decide to do it, I don't know how you got these teams up on that board. There ain't no NFC East teams on there. I don't know why.
NFC East was Philly.
Oh, you said Philly. Oh, that's the worst team to like. The fans. You want to be like a Philly fan? You want to join the Philly fans, bro?
This is Cowboy bias right here.
No. Hey, you might as well just go to Boston too, bro. Just go like New England fan. The fans.
Oh, I can't do New England. The tuck rule. It
haunts you. But all I'll say is, you should just make the pool of all teams that have coaches who are brothers. Coaches all the brothers that are coaching shoot one day teams.
Gonna be out of job. One of them in Denver gonna be out the job for the Euro.
Because honestly, I don't even like Marvin Lewis. I feel like he should have got fired years ago.
I'm not. Marvin Lewis is just one of those. He's the throw-in. He's kind of like the Detroit.
Marvin Lewis must got some pictures of his owner.
For real.
He got some serious pictures.
Well, there's also
these pictures I got right here.
Extension too.
These pictures I got right here I saw the other day.
Come on, man.
I got pictures. There's Jared. I'm gonna use that one. I need to use that one.
What are you talking about?
Marvin
Trust
Lewis.
me. When I want the podcast at the time I wanted, I'm breaking out these pictures.
He got some incriminating stuff on his owners.
He might, but there is a talk that Cincinnati, they don't care about winning. They just care about making their money. There's a business that they always make money every year. They're not worried. They don't care. The fans still come. There's no backlash against them. So right now, like, they're just running an organization where they'll do the bare minimum to stay like mildly competitive, right? Marvin Lewis has done probably a good job of keeping that team even competitive. It's not like they had the dopest talent all the time. They never had all the dopest talent.
Well,
and he's not the GM.
They had talent for a while.
They had talent.
You know what I think the thing is?
And they had a dope defense for a while.
And they made the playoffs a lot. They've never done anything in the playoffs, but they've always made the playoffs.
I think the thing is...
They always lose like the first round.
Yeah.
I think the thing is... I don't think that they're cheap. They're not like your boy from the NBA that you saw in the Clippers, Sterling. I think the thing is that what their owners there, they're Paul Brown's children, right?
They're like the
and so it's like a family-run business.
Yeah, and they're like, the bottom line is we're making money still. We're fine. We don't need to work. Like, we're not going to put extra effort into making sure we're running this.
I mean, they still have to spend the same revenue that everybody else.
Yeah, they spend around the same. There's teams that spend more, some teams that spend less.
There's a minimum.
I know that. We know that. But
there's a minimum, and that minimum is close to the pie.
But there's still the fact that you make smart investments on the players you decide to sign. Okay,
they just suck. That's what I think it is. They suck at running a team.
That's what I'm saying. But like this, they don't care. That's why they've been happy with Marvin Lewis because he's kept them relevant with the fact that they've been able to go to the playoffs.
They think they're good. Cause think about it. In the '80s, the Cincinnati was a great team, and it was run by the same people running now. I think they don't.
Wait, then the dad was still running then.
No, dad was dead. Paul Brown Sr. died, and it was the son. But I think the thing is that the game has passed them by. They don't really know what the fuck they're doing. They can't scout good. They can't do these things well.
I don't think they're worried about trying to pay the best executives either. They're probably just like, fuck it, we're not going to pay them.
They bring in, they do a good job sometimes bringing in coaches. Marvin Lewis brought in some good coaches.
Yeah, Marvin Lewis was a good hire when
they all left to be head coaches.
Didn't they just bring in the old Browns coach?
Hugh Jackson.
He was there. He was there, and then the Minnesota Vikings coach was the defensive coordinator. Zimmer was the defensive coordinator. So he had good coaches, and that was when they were at their high streak going to the playoffs. And they made decent draft choices. The redhead stepchild was a decent draft choice. He's not great.
They need to move on from that second round.
They do. I agree. But it was a good second round pick to keep their playoff thing going.
Yeah. No. I'm not.
And with the pieces they had, AJ Green keeps getting nicked up. That's also a problem. They drafted John Ross. He keeps getting hurt.
Yeah. I think what my thing is that as much as people give Marvin Lewis flack, like I'm like, bruh, I'm saying if he was the Cowboys coach for this long, I'd be like, you should fire him. He's not that dissimilar from like a Jason Garrett to me. He's been tenured. He's one of the longest tenured coaches, but he's gotten to the playoffs more consistently than Jason Garrett.
He has.
Also, but he hasn't won a playoff game, so it's fine. But what I will say is he's been able to maintain that. So I'm like, give him a little credit. Yeah, you know what? I probably would like him fired too. But this team does not care as much about making big splashes to try and overhaul the quality of their team because they're making money and they don't like it's not the priority as much anymore.
The other thing is I will give them credit. Making the playoffs in that division is actually a little bit harder.
It's a hard division, yeah.
Yeah, you got the Raiders,
Pittsburgh and Baltimore.
Pittsburgh, Baltimore. They actually got some dope ass defenses. And
you got a couple teams that won Super Bowls in that division. You've been able to compete with them and stay consistent. So yeah. But
getting to the playoffs in that division.
So when you switch to the Rams, that's my question.
Oh, when am I switching to the Rams?
When you switch to
why don't you just become a Chargers fan, Anthony?
Yeah.
They got a brother. They got a brother.
You got Jerry's brother theory.
And you got an LA team.
It's in California.
And it's a small, intimate stadium too.
I'm gonna say something that might get us into our next topic is who do I think is gonna win the Super Bowl, and it leads into why I can't be a Chiefs fan. The reason why I can't be a Chiefs fan because I feel like Andy Reid, he's a good coach, but he still makes dumb coaching decisions. Yeah, the two key times that he lost to the Pats was because he left too much goddamn time for Tom Brady to go down and kick a field goal.
He did. We know Tom Brady's great at those field goals.
Yeah, but everybody knows that. I feel like everybody knows that except Andy Reid. Everybody knows this with Andy Reid. Like Andy Reid be leaving like a minute and a half left on the clock for Tom Brady to come down and beat you. Like, no, stop scoring so fucking fast. Just slow the game down. So, he did that in Philly, and he's doing that in Kansas City right now. So
then tell me this then.
What's up?
I gotta go take my sister to this dog. Tell me this.
You smoke crack, don't you?
Yeah. Don't you? You gotta smoke crack to still be a Raider fan, I'll be honest. Because we sat here with Tim, who ain't switching, which makes no sense. But anyway, since you said leading into who you think gonna win, let's give it our eve of the playoff eve. Who you think gonna win? It's gonna change. We gonna review this each week. So who you got winning?
No, let me go last.
Jared, I can go first.
All right, I can go first. It's all good. I got the Cowboys going to the Super Bowl.
Oh, come on. Go ahead.
I got the Cowboys going to the Super Bowl, and I got, my issue is the Chiefs right now being stifled by this defense on the road. But I'm going to say, I think the Chiefs are going to go to the Super Bowl.
Oh, you going strong with the Chiefs?
Cowboys, Chiefs.
You think they can beat the Patriots? All right.
I think they can beat the Patriots, especially with the Patriots been playing on offense, and they just lost Jay Gords.
I got Rams, Chiefs. Rams winning 17-10, low scoring. 17-13, low scoring affair. We're not gonna get a rematch of that great.
Jared Goff is choking right now.
17-13. Jared Goff ain't learning. He ain't progressing a lot during the year. He progressed a lot from last year. And he progressed from the year before that. But he's not progressing during the year, which you'd like to see players do, where defenses are progressing.
Because he's got a helicopter mom for a head coach.
Well, because he also can't
helicopter
learn.
parent.
He also is not great at learning. That was the same thing that everyone kept. That was the knock on him. He didn't know how to.
They said he wasn't the brightest dude.
And so he still.
But if he got the vision though, he could see it.
That's the problem. But he has to be able to call. Tom Brady, even your lesser quarterbacks are calling audibles, dude. Carson Wentz calls his audibles, calls his plays. He waits. He goes to the line, and he knows what to switch to on his own.
That's where everybody.
Jared Goff can't do it.
Everybody gave Sean McVay all this.
They had to because he has to do it because Jared Goff can't do it. He couldn't do it.
But that's part of the coaching that Sean McVay has to be a better coach who's going to reach his quarterback.
He's a head coach though. That's your quarterback.
No, but he calls the plays. He's immensely involved in offense. But it's your quarterback coach. But he's immensely involved in offense. He calls the plays. He should be coaching him up to see certain things. Then.
All right, I'm gonna ask a question. I'm gonna answer your question. If Sean McVay doesn't make it at least to the conference finals, would you say he needs to get fired?
No.
Okay. My two picks would be the Rams and the Saints making to the Super Bowl.
Rams, Saints?
They the same conference. How they gonna make the Super Bowl?
They both can't make it.
I mean, AFC is so garbage.
NFC Championship game is the Super Bowl.
That's it. NFC Championship game party.